Hey everybody, welcome back to another 10-minute Marvel video. I'm Petter, and today, I have my nice little, my goodness, swoop there. Today, we're going to be talking about a new rumor. This one comes from Jeff Schneider, the InSchneider, and that's that we're going to be getting a new T'Challa. And I have to say, I thought they could have recast originally. I understand why they didn't, why they wanted to kind of let the moment breathe. And they did a really good job of letting that moment breathe and kind of using the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman to really create some powerful moments in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I mean, it was a very specific thing that they were doing. Now, I think it makes sense. I think it's time for a couple different reasons. And I want to talk about those reasons and then also go through a few of maybe the fan casting for who could play T'Challa. The first reason I think that makes sense is we have had that moment. This is such an iconic character, Black Panther, for Marvel films that, not films, for Marvel comics, I should say, that I don't want them to keep him out of the film. Yes, Shuri can be Black Panther. That happens in the comics as well. But it'd be nice to have a T'Challa back, even just as King of Wakanda. The other reason is we're having Doomsday and Secret Wars. This multiverse event is occurring right now. How do you bring somebody in, not just age up the small child we saw in Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Well, you bring him through the multiverse. And they kind of have to do that at this point if they want to bring him in, because they can't do just a straight up recasting. We've already confirmed in the main MCU timeline, whatever Earth designation you want to give it, that Black Panther, T'Challa, is dead. So I think it makes sense from those two different perspectives on this. Now, this will be interesting to see if and when Black Panther, not if, but when Black Panther 3 comes out. Because is it going to maybe be a movie between Doomsday and Secret Wars? And so that's going to be our introduction, or is it going to be after Secret Wars? I think, honestly, this maybe should be one that is between, or still maybe part of the multiverse saga, kind of like how Spider-Man Far From Home caps the Infinity Saga in some ways, that we have Black Panther 3 kind of cap off the multiverse saga, and then it will be X-Men after that. That's maybe how I would do it. But I'm going to look over here at my screen and run through some of these ideas for who could play a new T'Challa. First off, I know that one that has popped up on a list, or several different lists, is John Boyega. John Boyega played Finn in the sequel trilogy from Star Wars. I am okay on this idea because I thought he was good but not great, and I haven't really heard like a ton of really high praise for him in terms of acting after that. Again, just hearing like solid things, and I think you'd want to hit more of a home run for Black Panther, for T'Challa, I should say, again. So I think there are some other ones on there, and I'm going to run through this whole list. Mahershala Ali. That's one's just right out. Obviously, the thought process behind that would be a great actor, but he's going to be Blade. I'm still very confident that we're going to get Blade at some point in time here once they have it ready to go. They're just making sure that they get it right and that it doesn't feel too similar to, say, The Sinners, which was one of the reasons why it was originally pushed, or at least suspected to be. Then there is Lakeith Stanfield. Lakeith Stanfield has done stuff like Atlanta, Haunted Mansion, Get Out. So, solid choice there. I honestly haven't seen much that he's been in. Then there's Modesto Lassen. I'm probably butchering that last name. A little bit older actor who has been in stuff like, I think probably the one I recognize most as a title is, no, it looks like he's actually mainly done non-US based roles. Yeah, I'm not recognizing anything too much for him. He'd be a solid choice from the looks of it. I mean, if you want a slightly older actor for that role, and I mean, that's mid 40s versus mid 30s, late 20s. Then there's Chiwetel Ejiofor. I probably butchered that. Again, older actor. I know him from other things. He was in Doctor Strange. He's Mordo. Don't see them pulling in somebody who already has such a named role. There oftentimes Marvel will use an actor multiple times, but when they do that, it's somebody who is not a named character. One actor who I think I'd be interested in would be Aldous Hodge. Aldous Hodge was in Leverage. He's in Cross, Black Adam. Obviously, Black Adam wasn't well received, but has a good look for it and kind of a good presence for the character, I feel. So, he'd be probably, out of everybody I've said thus far, my top choice. Though, along with him would be John David Washington, who you might know from things like Tenet, The Creator. Again, a strong actor. A little bit, I mean, both of these actors are around 40, a little bit less physically imposing than Aldous Hodge potentially would be, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's not like Chadwick Boseman was the most imposing figure, and you want M'Baku, Winston Duke's character. I mean, I suspect Winston Duke is a fairly large man. Let's look that up. But yeah, 6'5". So anybody's gonna look small-ish next to him. So with John David Washington, you might actually have to make him look a little bit larger. Though Aldous Hodge, you wouldn't necessarily. Then, Abdul Mateen is on the list as well. Again, has played another character, or will be playing another character in the MCU with Wonder Man. I don't think they would flip-flop that so quickly. And finally, this one I actually think is fairly interesting, because it kind of feels like a what-if scenario. It also is a multiverse scenario, a feel to it. But what if Michael B. Jordan was the person to play T'Challa? Now, I have no idea if these actors would necessarily want to step into that role. But out of all of these, Aldous Hodge and Michael B. Jordan are probably my top two, because I think having Michael B. Jordan be a variant version with that kind of Killmonger, and obviously Michael B. Jordan is a fantastic actor. So those are just, I mean, that's one list that I've found. I'm sure I could go find a whole lot more, and lists that maybe didn't have as many current or former MCU actors on them. But let me know down in the comment section what you think. Who would you like to see take on the role of T'Challa? And does this feel like the right time to recast for you? Appreciate everybody who is checking out these videos. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoy this content. And if you want to hear the full conversation that we'll be having on this will be coming up in our next podcast episode. You can check out the podcast. We just finished doing our episode, put that out a couple days ago, on ranking the What If Season 3 episodes. So you can find that here on YouTube. Click onto the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. We really do appreciate everybody who has subscribed. And then click on the podcast tab. Or you can search for 10 Minute Marvel wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcasts from. But with that, we'll see you next time.